What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of What the Hell, where I try my best to make everything unconfusing. Today I've got another project. This time it's a motorized foot file by Amope. This is their wet and dry version. I got this at Amazon last week. It's for people who have really dry skin on the soles of their foot. So you just buff it away. Makes the job really easy and simple. But my problem is I think I got a lemon. When I'm running this, it makes a lot of noise, clicking noise, as I will demonstrate. Like noise. Normally it should sound like this. But every now and then, when I'm filing away, it would make that noise. It sounds like a stripped gear or something. So today I'm going to try to open this thing up, see what's going on inside, and see if it's anything broken. First thing we do is remove the roller, and then we remove this silver top cover. So how we do that is we pull on this corner, pull it this way, and then this end we pull it that way, and then we push all over here upward like that. So there's a clip in here, a clip in here, two clips underneath here, and two clips underneath here. So basically I just use my fingernails to pry open this thing. It's a lot easier and less chance of damaging the plastic compared to using some type of tool. So it helps to have a long fingernail. So I pretty much just dig my fingers through this gap like so, and then I pull it inward that way until that thing pops out like that. Then I do the other side. And then slowly, using my thumb here, I sneak in my fingernail over here and then push outward this way as my other hand pulls this corner upwards. So that one popped out. And then I do the other side. Use my thumb to help push it upward like this as my other hand pulls it out like so. So that one's pretty simple. Next, there are 4 screws that we remove. Put these screws aside. Next, you need to remove these plastic nylon, this white nylon over here, and this gray plastic over here. So we just need to pull it out. And I find that for this side, for this white nylon plastic, I use this pointed tweezer to pull it out. You could probably use a pin, and you just put it inside here into this hole and just catch it and just pry it just a tiny bit, and it should come out easily like that. For this other side, this one's a bit tricky. You can't really use a tweezer to pull it out. Now I tried several methods to remove this plastic, and you could either use a like a pointy tool like this and then just dig in the point on the plastic and then try to pull it out that way. But I find that eventually you could damage the plastics, like gouge it too much. And another way that I've tried is use a string or a thread, a strong thread like this, sewing thread. This is slightly thicker than a regular sewing thread. So what I do is I push the thread underneath or the gap, around the gap on this plastic, and using this tool or whatever tool you have, and I just push it around the gap around it. Now the goal is to get the thread underneath this plastic. So I go around it about slightly more than 180 degrees around, like so. Then I tug on the string and until I feel that it went underneath the plastic. So now that's securely underneath it. And then I just slightly tug on it and it should pop out. Hopefully you can see that. Here it's coming out. Like so. See if I could just pull this out. There you go. So that's that. So basically what was happening is I was pushing this thread underneath or around it, and then eventually it catches underneath it like so. And then I tug on it and that pulls it out of its socket over here. So that's that. And then this white plastic should just pop right off. Push it outward that way. Like so. And then we just pull we could just pull the silicone cover. When you pull it, be gentle, especially around the charging terminal, because the silicone cover goes underneath it. And you just slowly pull that off. And it should pop out. Careful not to rip it off. Like so. Oh. Oh, you just gotta be careful that these plastic nylon don't fall out and you lose them. So these cover the 3 screws that you need to remove in order to open this case. So you could just pop those off or use a tool to pry them off. So normally it should come out easily. Now you can see the 3 screws that need to come off. And I use a flathead screwdriver and pry open over here. There's a small slot, and just slowly twist it, twist around on this side, making sure you take your time. You don't want to go too fast and then you open it up and things come flying out. That's the last thing you want to do, is lose pieces or everything come out and then you don't know how to put things back together. There we go. And there it is. Let's check the individual teeth on the gears. They all seem to be, yeah, they all look good. No stripped gears. So yeah, I don't know what was making that noise. So for those of you that want to replace the battery, here's the label on it. PL80227 to 3.7 volts, 1000 milliamp hours, 3.7 watt hours. So it's about 70 millimeters long by 20 millimeters wide and about a 1/4 inch thick. Over here is the, I believe is the overcharge and overcurrent protection circuit over here, and it just plugs into this main circuit board, so you could just disconnect that. I would imagine if you can't find the exact battery, if you can find another one with a somewhat the same dimension, you could just solder these wires to the replacement battery, even though it's not exact. Okay guys, I've taken this thing apart, looked it up and down, in and out. I've taken out all the gears, inspected them carefully, and I can't see anything wrong with it. So I really don't know what was making that ticking sound. So what I did is I just repacked the gears with new grease using this Super Lube synthetic grease. So repacked the gears real well, and I oiled the spindle on this end of the motor, electric motor. I used machine oil. Just put a small dab of oil on that end, and I'll put it back together, and hopefully I won't experience that ticking noise again. We'll just have to find out in a few weeks, few days. So when you put this thing back together, you just gotta make sure all the all the gaps are closed. And test it. The motor really vibrates a lot. Surprisingly, how small the motor is, but it vibrates a lot. But there you go. I'll find out in a few days whether that noise comes back, and then I might have to reopen it again and inspect it. Could also be since there's only 3 screws over here, here, and here that locks down the frame. It could also be over here. This gap opens up. If you could see that, this gap over here, it may open up when you torque down on the roller. So this part may open up, and then that creates a lot of a gap for the gears to move around.